Shout out to all the women that got drafted tonight's WNBA draft. A lot of folks thought Angel Reese was going to get drafted by the Sparks. She got picked by the Chicago Sky, which they look like they have a young team right there. But Brink got picked by the Sparks. I think that was the better pick. Caitlin Clark, her jersey's already sold out on Fanatics. No surprise there. But it was dope. It's dope to see the WNBA get that increase in coverage. So shout out to everyone. We are going to limit the stage to just the content creators for each team. So we will be. I'll ask if you ask a question in the chat. I'll definitely bring it to the stage. So I'll read your questions. And yeah, please retweet. Please retweet. Would appreciate that. It would be helpful. So yeah, appreciate you guys being in here. Okay, so all right, so we'll start. All right, so each of you guys, describe your. I'll start with Dime. Describe your team season in one word, and what's the reason for choosing that word?
Roller. I'm just gonna say Harden.
That's hilarious.
It just changed everything, you know. The year for me, from my perspective, it was all about the James Harden trade and what that did to the team. You know, you bring in somebody that's so polarizing and has such a reputation, and you really, for the first time, are putting together a 3-star thing with the Clippers, and that's the first time you can ever make a case the Clippers have like a super team, you know, and the players colluded to bring him and to bring all these guys here. It was all like, you know, leg GM stuff, recruiting. So, you know what I mean? That's what I have to say about that. Yeah, Harden.
Okay. Tony, describe your team season in one word and why.
This is a marathon.
Yeah, that's it's a marathon, man.
3 words.
Marathon. There you go. I wanted to capture Darvin Ham saying it, so, but yeah, it was a marathon. I was gasping for air in December, so yeah.
Okay. All right, Bruce Leroy representing Dub Nation.
But it is.
Kings are out tonight. I guess they're ducking the smoke because they got y'all tomorrow. But, hey, it's all good. Nah. Chewy from Top Shot Kingdom is in urgent care with his boy. So prayers up. But it's just a sprained wrist, hopefully, broken wrist. Nothing, it could be worse, but he's good. Bruce Leroy asked the other guys, describe your team season in one word and why.
Miserable. I mean, so much. I mean, dudes not necessarily embracing roles soon enough. One player who's supposed to be this IQ player sabotaged the season almost 2 years in a row. I mean, last year you knocking out young dudes you're supposed to be leading and instructing, and then this season you just can't keep your composure. So miserable because 2 more games than last season and in the win column, but yet still you end up in the play-in. So miserable.
Okay, all right. So you brought up. So you're talking about Draymond. So I guess I'm just gonna skip. I'm gonna go to this question. Draymond was out for 21 games due to suspension. That doesn't include him getting ejected early in the first quarter against the Timberwolves. The Gobert incident. And then also first quarter against the Magic. Your team finished 10th in the West. How much better do you believe your record would have been had Draymond not been out for those suspensions?
I mean, well, the eye test and the numbers prove the team would have been at one particular time, if I'm not mistaken. I think I seen the record was like 23-18 with Draymond. So for the most part, you knew they would have been above 500. And if you just pay attention to the recent streaks, whether it's like 9-2, 17-4, you know, the numbers are showing you, the eye test is showing you the defense since the All-Star break is a top 10 defense. The wins since I want to say the 30th of January, I want to say the Warriors might be number 1 or 2 out west for having the best record. So the numbers prove they would have been better, bro. The numbers prove that they would have been a better team. So this is the reason why I can just single-handedly say that Draymond sabotaged the season with his actions.
All right. I like that word, sabotage. All right, so to the others, Dime, how do you, when it comes to Draymond, how do you, Tony, anyone can start first. How do you guys view Draymond as an opponent?
He's a great defensive player. This season, he's actually pissed me off because he's been able to hit his threes again. That came out of nowhere. I actually think when I've watched him play, he's been really good. But yeah, this is the nutcase. He's going off the deep end. And by the way, all I see, even if the Kings guy had showed up, all I see around me are a bunch of playing teams. When are you guys gonna, you're not even in the dance. I'm the only one that's sitting here, my feet up in the dance.
Whoa! If this was 2017 or 2019, whenever we would be in the playoffs right now. Just saying.
If Smith,
hey, eighth, man, eighth. I'm just saying eighth.
Technically, the Lakers are in the dance, but if
Adam Silver,
we have to get kicked out, the Lakers can get kicked out, but technically they are in the dance as of now. But that could change.
Oh, well.
Tony, how do you look at Draymond as a competitor?
Kind of like out of his era, like he's kind of like a one-of-one player that seems to be like a 90s player that's playing right now in this era. Like I just feel like he's the level of physicality that he plays, the level of just I don't know. It's like he's the prime definition of a double-edged sword. Like you use him for one thing, which would be defense, would be kind of like the whole offensive scheme, the dribble handoff, all the thing. But like the ejections, man, like that's dejecting itself. And like I don't know. Like I just view him as a like he can win you a game and he can lose you a series.
Any rebuttals?
Nah, I mean, that's proven. Up 3-1, 73-9 season. Can't control your emotions, man. There goes your season. So he's absolutely right.
All right. I'm with it. All right. This question's for Tony. Speaking of the Kings swept the Lakers during the regular season 4-0. What the fuck happened? What is it? What is it? And then so what the fuck happened, Tony? And what the fuck happened?
It's called European centers and AD. They don't mix. Like it's a joke, but it's what it's 0-9, is it now for AD versus Sabonis or something crazy like that? I don't know the numbers exactly, but it's kind of ridiculous. But it's honestly the combination of Fox and Sabonis. Like we don't do well with fast pace guards like that. We can't really stop them. We can only do so much. And the moments of the season that we actually had, that we faced them, we were trying to figure out who we were. And I don't know, man. Like Kings are a solid team. And props to Sabonis. For some reason, AD cannot handle. Just cannot handle him, and I think that's kind of like the major takeaway. I'm not sure if one of them we played without LeBron or something of the sorts, but it's just nasty, man. Um,
Okay. Now, when we all got together and we did the first round table, Chris from Hoop Spaces was the moderator. He said that Tony, you made the clip of it. Dime Dropper couldn't believe it. He said that he has Sabonis ranked higher than Anthony Davis. I'll ask everyone. I'm more interested in the other perspectives. Dime and Bruce, is Sabonis better than Anthony Davis?
Hell
Go
no.
ahead, Don.
Hell no.
He said, "Hell nah." I mean, I think Anthony Davis is definitely the better player, but it's deeper than that. He's a very talented player, but there's just some fundamentals he does not have. And I don't even think it's a European thing. People like to say like European players are more finesse. I don't know if that's true. Hakeem, I don't remember him being European, and he had those fundamentals too. So I think whenever Anthony Davis goes up against players who are big just like him and can bruise, right? It's the footwork that he can't keep up with, the leaning into him and to using his body as leverage against him and the nuances of just like that chess match. I think that's what he has a problem with. I don't really think it's a De'Aaron Fox thing because I've seen the Lakers neutralize several guards that are twitchy. You know what I mean? But I 0-10, I think 0-11 now, that says a lot, though. I give Sabonis a lot of credit, though.
No, I do give Sabonis credit. He definitely owns AD in the one-on-one matchup. This year was crazy because there was a whole narrative behind it, and AD still couldn't get a W over him. So I'll give Sabonis that matchup. But as a basketball player, who do I want on my team? Who's been better? Who is better? Anthony Davis. This is one of the best defenders in the NBA. For me, the best, but he's top 3 at worst, in my opinion.
So Sabonis did lead the NBA, Dom, in rebounds, double-doubles, though. Is that not a good feat?
No, it's fantastic. I'm still taking Anthony Davis. He might be the best defensive player in the league. That means a lot in my view. He's literally taken over series defensively, as you know, as you've seen. So,
True.
I mean, you let me ask you a question, and it's only been a year. I don't think they've improved or gotten that much worse. Your team played against both of them last season, and who was more of a problem?
Well, Anthony Davis was definitely more of a problem, but the reason why he was more of a problem is because of LeBron James, right? And I think he unlocks a different level of Anthony Davis. When Anthony was in New Orleans, he was putting up 40 points, 15, 20 rebounds, several games. I mean, the series against the Warriors, the first series that those guys played in 2015, he probably averaged like 35 points, maybe even close to 15 rebounds. But I think with Draymond not necessarily being a scoring threat, the rules say if you're defending the person with the ball in your hand, there's no illegal defense against you. You can stay in the paint longer than 3 seconds. And that's what Anthony Davis was doing. So at that point, it's difficult. It's difficult to, I mean, Steph Curry's on the floor with 2 non-scores at one particular time. Like Draymond wasn't scoring, Loon wasn't scoring, so they had to put Jermichael Green in the game, and then he wasn't scoring. So, yeah, the only way you can actually I think that's why Jokic is probably a better threat and better than Sabonis in that regard because he can actually space the floor. That's something that Sabonis struggles with. So,
okay, so let me ask you, going, with this Kings Lakers matchup, Sabonis versus AD, Dime, you're the to both of you guys because you guys are the outsiders on this. Kings is not here. When you guys watch that matchup between Lakers and Kings, Sabonis versus AD, what is it about the Lakers? What is it about their team that they're falling short against the Kings?
I think it's that you don't get the best version of AD, 1, against Sabonis, and 2, the Lakers transition defense to me, and there's a lot of these older teams like the Clippers, the Suns. I don't know about the Suns, but I know for a fact the Clippers, they are terrible in transition. And the Lakers are bad in transition too defensively. There's some games where a young team like the Kings will just come out and push the pace, and they'll be down 20 at the end of the first quarter. Like the Lakers have had so many games like that the last 3 years where they just get blitzed in the first quarter. They'll put on some fake comeback at the end. LeBron will get up to 30 points, and they'll still lose. That hasn't happened as much this year, but I think that these fast teams can give them problems. But that being said, if the Lakers play the Kings in the play-in game, I think the Lakers are going to win because I just don't think the Lakers with Anthony Davis and LeBron James are going to lose 2 games in a row to this level of opposition, quite frankly. If the Pels find a way to beat them, I just don't think the Lakers season is coming to an end in the play-in. They're going to get out of it because they have 2 chances. The only way the Lakers were going to get out of the play-in or not make it out of the play-in to me was if they had played Golden State in a one-off situation, and that would have been it had they lost.
Okay. Okay. Speaking of the Warriors, okay, so this question is about Bruce, and I think there's 3 different perspectives here. But the Warrior fan base is the only one who makes such an issue about the amount of free throws the Lakers shoot. Dime, you're neutral on this. How do you feel about the Lakers' free throws differential? And is there any validity to what Bruce and the rest of Dub Nation is saying about the Lakers' free throws?
They're saying it about the Lakers' free throws this year?
This year, last year, the year before.
I know the year before, and I remember the playoffs last year was a huge discussion. But
this year as well.
I mean, look, the Lakers are second in the league in free throw attempts, and that's not surprising to me when your 2 best players are primarily at the rim. I mean, their leading scorers. Did Anthony Davis finish with more points than Bron this year or what? Or was it Bron?
It was Bron. He finished. I mean, but it was 1 point difference.
Yeah, 25.7 and 24.7. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Wow. Did LeBron? Wow, every season of his career, he's led his team in shot attempts. Every season. That's something that I just wanted to mention. But Anthony Davis is almost all of his baskets come in the paint these days. So he's attacking the rim a lot. LeBron, he still gets to the basket. Reeves, he's very good at drawing fouls. And I don't think Reeves' whistle has been as egregious as it was last year, to be honest. So, no, it's not surprising to me at all that they're second in the league in free throw attempts. The Orlando Magic take the most free throws. Why does no one talk about them? Because they don't care.
Bruce, how would you respond to that?
I mean, the numbers don't lie, man. Andy Bailey, I believe, put out a stat recently, tweet saying that after attempting 4 more free throws than the Pelicans, which is the past recent game, right? The Lakers finished the season with 507 more free throw attempts than their opponents. Now, this is the reality. Austin Reeves is very good at drawing fouls. Anthony Davis is playing below the rim. I do understand that D'Lo and a lot of these guys, they're intelligent, right? But the NBA came out 2 seasons ago, to be specific. The commissioner was saying that there were some things that they wanted to address, particularly the flopping and the, baiting you into fouls and everything, right? So if you remember James Harden when he was in Brooklyn that last year, then going into the Clippers, there were some moves that he would always do. He was trying to do those moves and he would not get the call. The officials would look at him on the ground. Are we saying, because look at James Harden now, he's had such an impact and he's on Dom's Clippers, right? So he's been observing, he's been watching the game. Are you now saying like Austin Reeves or D'Angelo Russell, these guys are better at getting to the free throw line than James Harden? Because if we be honest, I haven't seen anybody better than James Harden in the recent years. He's just not getting those calls he used to get where you would go watch a Rockets game and Harden shot 18 free throws, right? So again, the numbers don't lie. The differential is crazy. And I'm not saying Orlando is not necessarily grifting or Orlando is not necessarily high as well, but it's just weird when you're watching these games and it's like, it's not LeBron necessarily shooting all these free throws, but it's a team high plus 20, plus 17, plus 13. And you're watching these games that the Lakers are winning by 4. The Lakers are winning by 2. The Lakers are winning in double overtime. And then you look at the plus or the minus on it, and you see that, okay, plus 24. How do you overcome that, right? Denver Nuggets did it in the playoffs. The Lakers shot more free throws than them last year, and the Nuggets were able to overcome. But again, it just looks strange. And I'm not the only person to mention this. Toronto Raptors, the head coach came out and mentioned this as well, right? He's on wax. You could pull it up. He was very upset, and he said that the league got to look into it. Now, I'm just a casual. This is a professional. So, again, I am not the only person that feels this way. It's a lot of people who are talking about this particular thing.
What was the last game the refs gave the Lakers? I can't believe I'm defending the Lakers so much. By the way.
The Raptors.
The
It was a
Memphis
while
game.
ago.
Technically, by if you like, I'm a casual. I can say that. And if you look at the last 2-minute report on the Memphis game, what was it? 3 possessions straight that we used. It should have been Memphis ball. So that could have cost the Lakers the game. But regardless, like the free throw differential, like you can say what it is, but it's also the style of basketball that the Lakers play. Like they're not a jump shooting team. Like they've never been.
Yeah,
Like
but
even if you say drives, like our main bread and butter is basically post ups. It's basically LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Our guards are only shooting and Austin Reeves is not getting the whistle this year at all. So to say that it's Austin Reeves' fault, to say that it's just getting, and even LeBron James is grossly being mistreated when he comes to there's multiple games through the season where it's like the refs just swallow the whistles. So just saying, to say that we basically get a fair whistle, I don't know about that.
again, I'm not trying to point nobody out, but when you finish the season with 500 more plus free throws than your opponents, considering where you are a playing team. You're not even a team with the number 1 offense. You're not a team with the number 1 defense. You are a mid team, and to just there's this notion that the jump shooting teams don't go to the free throw line. And again, since we just talking about California and we focused in on Steph Curry, I'm seeing Steph Curry get clothesline, taking a free throw, right? No call. I'm seeing Austin Reeves jump, fade away, and just kind of moves his body, and he's getting a call. Now, me fading away and getting a call versus me being clobbered by 7-foot players in the paint, it's easier for umpire right there on the baseline to see that versus a player fading away. And I'm not just necessarily trying to use Reeves as a target, right? He's definitely a pretty good player. But again, I'm not the only person that feels this way. It's bigger than me. I'm only answering the question because my boy brought the topic up. But the numbers speak for itself. 507 plus free throws more than the opponents. To me, that looks suspicious. I'm just saying.
Over who, though? Over who? Like, what do you mean? Orlando's shot more free throws than the Lakers this season.
I'm talking about.
So you're talking about the averages.
Let me put this tweet in.
What Bruce Lee is the totals.
Every team plays the same amount of games. How could the Lakers?
Yeah. Let me drop this. Hold a second.
Isn't it math?
No, it's the differential. So the differential meaning that
your
opponent.
Teams?
So over our opponent, the opponent is shooting lower volume than us. So we're shooting above what the other team is shooting. So for instance, if they shoot 10, we shoot 30 or 20, something crazy like that. That's the differential.
That is an interesting statistic. I'm not going to lie, but I just think I watch almost every Laker game, and I'm not a Laker fan. I watch it from obviously a Laker fan's lens in the sense of the way of analyzing the game, but I don't root for them. And I don't feel like the free throw differential is that egregious. Like LeBron gets these days, I want to say in the AD era that LeBron has been here in LA, he has not gotten the whistle that he once got in Miami and in Cleveland in the early days. He gets whacked at the rim a lot. They don't call shit. Sorry if I wasn't supposed to cuss on here.
Oh, we don't give a fuck.
No, we don't give.
Yeah, LeBron gets back
but
a lot, and I don't even play devil's advocate for him. And Austin Reed is only shooting 3 free throws a game this season, so he's not even getting the same calls he used to get. The refs have. I feel like he's been foul baiting less personally. So that's my Anthony Davis gets called because he relentlessly goes to the basket, and that's all he does.
But see, Dom, it's not even an Anthony Davis or LeBron thing, right? Because there are games where LeBron and Anthony Davis are not playing, and the calls are the same.
They're very healthy this year, bro. What do you mean?
Yeah, this season we've been extremely healthy. Like I think combined there are no more than 10 games between them. So we've seen a lot more LeBron James and AD than ever before. And by the way, like LeBron right now in free throw attempts, he's 22nd in the league.
But see, again, that's how you see what you just said. In free throw attempts, right? The game is based on averages. So if today you shoot 15 free throws and tomorrow you shoot 0, it's an average.
Right.
Again, I'm not trying to make this too much of a. It's really a rabbit hole. I'm not really trying to go down the rabbit hole, but all I'm saying is there are numbers out there that suggest some kind of suspicion should be taken. That's all. All.
We'll see in the playoffs. Everyone's going to be watching all these games, so it'll be very blatantly obvious. There won't be much. But the only reason I'm saying is I don't remember a game this season, besides maybe that Toronto game where there was controversy. I think the refs gave the Lakers the game. And I feel like the Lakers have had a lot of blowouts recently. I don't know why. Am I tripping, or there's been a lot of like double-digit games lately?
Yes. Yeah, it's 40 points at one point.
We've been blown out by a lot of teams.
Blowing teams out though. Lakers been playing good ball the last month and a half.
It goes both ways. Like it's been both ways. But yeah,
All right. Speaking of AD, he played 76 games this season. He had the goal of playing 82. He didn't. He played 76. Is the street clothes moniker? Is it dead?
I'll let Bruce take it first.
Yeah, let's
I think people just like trolling him because last year did he play 60 plus games?
Hell no.
No.
Yeah, he did.
60?
He did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well, wait. Let me check. I can do that quickly here.
Because it's just like Dime pointed out something when we did the first table talk. You pointed out that Kawhi and PG literally have missed similar amount of games, but people make it seem as if Kawhi just missed a great amount of games, right?
Yeah,
and it's kind of one.
It was mainly the difference was that Kawhi didn't play in the playoffs, and LeBron and Anthony Davis were able to stay healthy. So,
right, but I think if you're just going based off of present, then yeah, you could trash it, or if you want to see another year to say consistency, then I'm okay with that. But big men usually don't play 82 games anymore, right? So I guess 70 games or anywhere upward of 65, 60 plus games, that should be good enough.
So he played 56 games, but he played 16 in the playoffs. So
56
kind of evens out.
That's a lot of missed games compared to this season, man. 26 games is a good chunk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say no. I think I would agree with Bruce another season, but I'm just happy for Anthony Davis, dude. Like, it's just I'm happy for the fact he's been able to stay on the court. But that's what makes this Lakers season, regardless of how it ends, unless you win the championship. If you win the championship, which it's just not happening this year. I'm sorry, guys. 9 seed, 8 seeds don't win rings in the NBA, bro. So I'm not. I don't care what they have. I don't think it's gonna happen, but they could go far. You never know. The Lakers are dangerous. I would prefer them to win. I'm really preferring them to beat the Pelicans, though, because I want to see Lakers and Nuggets for the cinema of it. It would be awesome. The Lakers could take some real skin off the Nuggets, which would be great. And then the Lakers just get knocked out by Denver 2 straight years. It'd be hilarious. So either way, I win. What I don't want is the Lakers losing to the Pels and then beating the Kings or whoever, the Warriors, and then the Lakers get to play the Thunder first round, who they've matched up really well with. They'd have a ton of experience against them. And then the what's it called? You play against the Clippers or the Mavs second round, and I don't want to play the Lakers in the second round. But
You don't
So
want that all LA series?
why would a Clipper fan want that? I don't understand. I don't understand why people don't ever look at it from our side. Why would we want that?
why wouldn't you?
We don't have one full home game of like 90+% Clipper fans. I think that matters.
Mm,
Good point.
that's a good.
I'd be
point.
going to the games. I'm not watching on TV unless Lakers home games. I would be theoretically. I don't have all that money, but
How close would it? Wait, how close is the stadium? Like the new stadium
this year. Next, well, let me just answer this. In the Intuit Dome era, I don't mind if we play in a series. That would be cool to eventually have.
Okay.
Right now, it's just I wouldn't want that. At least we'd have some sort of, even though a ton of Laker fans would still show up in the Intuit Dome, but it would still feel like a real home in the sense that it's our stadium, not the stadium that we share and are eventually going to move out of. And yeah. So I would like the Lakers to play the Denver Nuggets or get knocked out either way. Even though I don't really hate the Lakers historically, I just don't like the LeBron stands. I need them out badly. I love when they're miserable. That's what I love. And then all these people in the comments talking about Dime, talking about rings, all this stuff. I can speak on rings. I watch the same ball you're watching. My team just never had it done. But I watched Kobe every single night. I know what it takes in the NBA level. Not like I've done it, but you know what I mean.
It's a lot of things, a lot of areas. You guys went to a lot of areas. Speaking of Intuit, let's see. Dime, this for one's for you. The team unveiled new jerseys that's going to debut next season to coincide with the brand new arena. How do you feel about the jerseys and the new logo? And do you think the team should have done a complete rebrand?
Yes, I'm so happy that we did it, man. This logo sucks. I've hated it since the second we got it. This jacket was given to me. I like the color, but I hate the logo. Our court went from being really nice when we were red, white, and blue to trash now. I just don't like it at all. I'm so excited for this rebrand. The jerseys are so nice. We go back to the Clipper cursive. I don't know why we went away from the cursive and away from red. People were like, red is associated with Donald Sterling. We don't want to have red. I was like, dude, it's the color, guys. Like, we've been wearing it since the beginning of time. It's like, I'm so happy we're bringing it back. So what's interesting is going to be, and I'm buying one of each, white, blue, and red. I haven't bought a jersey. I bought a Terrence Mann jersey this year, but before that, I hadn't bought a jersey. I've only bought two since Chris Paul. So, yeah. I'm going to buy all three, just a matter of who's going to be wearing them.
Tony, Bruce, how did you, when those new jerseys got unveiled, the new logo, what were you guys thinking?
I got love for the Clippers, man. So I'm just ready to see them boys in their own arena, man. Because it's two little brother vibes. But yeah, I mean, I don't have no pressure with the Clippers, man. They look like they're trending upwards again.
Tony?
Really? I hope in terms of colors you're talking about, not the team.
Okay, I'll be honest. And Dime, I'm sorry, but it was very revealing, the whole logo, because it's like, the F are they want to do like the like why is it nautical, or why is it like a like I don't know, like there was something about it, like it looked like a combination of a pirate ship with like I don't know, with it just didn't make sense to me until like, oh, Clipper is based on a chip or things like that, and I'm like, oh, it's not based on like like a nail clipper or something like I'm I don't want to be that dude, but I just did not know. I just really did not know. Like yeah, so it was revealing. And I think it's a first, because am I tripping to say that? I mean, Lakers are what, lakes, but I'm just saying, like, no,
you never knew the Clippers were a boat, though?
I never knew.
But you know now.
I know now. No, there's a purpose to it. So I got educated on it. I'm just saying that it just feels funky. Like everything feels like I thought, like, if I'm being honest, I thought with the new arena, you guys were just gonna do a new name. and be like, hey, let's scratch this and do something new.
Like
When I
Los
saw that you
Angeles
doubled down
Chargers.
on the Clippers, I'm like, oh, okay, so you really do like the name. So
Yeah, I mean, I will say it doesn't look like a sports team's logo. It looks like something you'd put on clothes. But
it looks like something you go like nautical, like
yeah,
I don't know, the sea, like
right. But we'll see how it goes. I like it better than this garbage that I'm wearing.
Mm.
The dojo.
I mean, they invested a lot of money into calling themselves like the LA Clippers, like
Instead of
LA
Los
part.
Angeles.
Yeah, like they've invested like I think millions upon millions, like in just saying LA, like an entire division, which is funny, but it props to the investing. So
Um, speaking of the Clippers, continuing with that. All right, so during the season, Kawhi signed a 3-year extension for around 150. Dime, how do you feel about the extension? And do you have a change of heart considering Kawhi's current situation with his knee?
It makes me nervous for sure. It definitely makes me nervous. Without Kawhi, there's no chance.
What about moving forward? Here we go again.
What about?
Playoff time. Like,
Oh,
how do you feel about the next 3 years of that contract?
well, if he doesn't play, if he misses games and we lose in the playoffs because he missed games, I mean, God, I would like to go a different direction. I already said last year I wanted to go in a different direction, but the 68 games and Paul George played 74 games this year or 73 games. I forget. It was amazing. But yeah, man, if he gets injured again after 68 games of good health, I don't know. Time to move on.
So,
Yeah, at least his contract's actually not that bad though. He's getting paid 50 mil, which is a lot. But when he plays, he's worth 50 mil in today's market. And I still think he can be elite for 3 more years, but like, will he be healthy in the playoffs? Like, who knows? That's the thing.
so you brought up Paul George. He didn't sign a contract. Now we noticed a trend since the beginning. Paul George and Kawhi usually sign contracts at the same time. What's going on with PG-13 and this contract?
Well, they're not haven't offered him one.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was a thing where he maybe just declined.
really, is that the news?
Why would he decline?
I don't know. Opportunity, getting
Go
more
where?
like well. So wait, no, not that. I thought so. I thought he was debating and go like not signing the extension, opt out and then opt in kind of thing, and gain more money that way. Because I think that's an option that he can, because he was an all-star, because he's been like years of service and all that. I think he can get a lot more money. But I'm just saying, like, is that it, or is he just looking to go somewhere else?
He's not going anywhere. He doesn't want to go anywhere unless we get rid of him or trade him or let him go.
So the rumors are about Indiana's bullshit.
Philly and Indiana are going to pursue him, but he's going to go there if the Clippers don't want him. He wants to be here. His family's here. We've given him everything.
I don't know, Dom. I don't know.
What is that supposed to be?
Curry is starving, man.
yeah.
Curry is starving.
Man, Paul George would be great on the Warriors, to be honest.
No.
Well,
There's some things that he already said years ago that he wasn't willing to do. Like, I think this year and probably OKC is when he sacrificed the most. Like, I guess he's more efficient this season. The numbers look similar, but he's played a step back. Like, I'm not used to seeing PG get this many.
Wait, did he drop?
Yeah, what happened to sound?
Hey,
Wait, did it get me?
No, we hear you. We hear you.
We can hear you. It's
Oh.
just now you just cut off for a second, but you can repeat what you were
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looked like it's glitching. But yeah, I just feel like to incorporate James Harden, I think whenever you're playing winning basketball, everybody has to sacrifice, right? Kawhi earlier this season, he was going crazy. His numbers was like MVP numbers, but I don't know, man. Outside of it just being home and family being there, Dom, I just think it's a rough time. And then to know that like Kawhi is injured again, and then you're seeing reports that some people are worried, swelling around the knee. You got to start reading the writing on the room. If
Your audio. Yep.
and come back.
Yep. Your audio's good.
And now it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drop and come right back.
All right, no problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Can I say that I don't see Paul George leaving the Clippers unless like the Clippers really do want to change. I just don't see. I just don't. Look, it's not that I don't see. I think the biggest contract that they have to figure out is Harden, because they can't let him go for nothing. They have to re-sign him. Like that I think is the biggest issue.
Resign
Because
him and play how many games with him before you trade him, or actually resign him around?
Well, you re-sign him and you figure it out. Like if it doesn't work out, then trade deadline you can dump him somewhere else. But you can't. You invested already enough in him. You allocated basically your entire war chest on him. I don't know. Like you're just gonna let that go? Like you rather keep him and give it another go, give it a training camp. If it doesn't work out, then part ways with him. Because like this offseason, like your options are limited. Or am I tripping on that dime?
No, you're not tripping on that, but like if he flames out in the playoffs, I really hope that's not the narrative. Let's give James Harden a full training camp. He's gonna really turn around this year. Like if he messes up in the playoffs again, like dude.
So if he's okay, but if he's let's say paid $20 million, does that change your mind? Or 15 million or something like where it's like, because I feel like Harden and Russ has a lot of common where it's like they both at a high time like $40+ million or 35 or whatever you want to call it value is on a team is detrimental to your team, but at a cost effective or cost controlled contract they can do a lot of good.
Russell Westbrook's getting paid like $3 million a year, and the thing about James Harden is his body these days, it doesn't hold up fully over the course of an 82-game season. This is just, by the way, this is assuming that we lose in the first 2 rounds this year. We make it to the conference finals, I absolutely think go ahead and re-sign him. You know, it's hard to get there. But, you know, if we lose in the first 2 rounds, it's like, why would I want to run back the same slow, older team when there's a league of rising stars? Like, you know what I mean? Why would I want to run it back? Especially with Harden, who keeps flaming out in the playoffs, who looks fatigued as the season goes on, you know, gets a little injury. I mean, he's never been what's the word? He's never had the best endurance, so to speak, as far as NBA Hall of Famers, I guess. Because he'd usually always get a little gas. Draymond has talked about that at times, how the Warriors knew that the way he played in Houston, he was going to tire himself out with all that dribbling and stuff. And constantly on the ball. And he would eventually take those step-back 3, and you just got to hope you'd miss, and he would. And, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I would not – you know, Tony, how I feel like if James Harden messed up in the playoffs this year, like, no. Like, I agree that we may not have – it might be detrimental to lose him for nothing, but – get him far away from this team if we lose. Like it's been awful.
Okay, has he done? Okay, Dime. I know you were against him coming to the team. Has he done better? Has he done better than you anticipated? Has he had a better impact than you anticipated? Where his performance of this season to what you may been afraid of? How has that lined up?
It's been about what I expected. I think I probably would have told you that 51 wins would have been good enough for a 3rd seed. I would have thought that as probably, considering what Sacramento got the 2nd seed with last season, or no, the 3rd seed last season with. So the fact that we got James Harden and still didn't get top 3, oh man, you don't know how angry I am about that. But well, we did. But it could work out if we beat Dallas. Could be playing OKC in the 2nd round, which is more favorable than Denver. But again, 4 seeds, You know how hard this series against Dallas is going to be? If we're able to get out of it, it's going to be skin off of us.
Well, that's a question that I have. How are you feeling going into this first round matchup? You have home court advantage as the 4th seed against the Mavs.
I feel petrified, honestly. I think we're going to win in 7 games. Actually, no. I say we're going to win in 7 games, but I really don't know if we're going to win this series, guys. Like beating these guys a third time. James Harden hasn't lost a first-round series, though, since 2016 against the Warriors. Hasn't lost a first-round series since. But it's a slightly different level of opposition in the first round, isn't it? And Kyrie Irving.
You
know who he played in the first round last year? The Brooklyn Nets without KD and Kyrie Irving, like the post KD and Kyrie trade. Brooklyn Nets. That's who they played first round. So like that statistic means nothing. I just did it to crack jokes about James. It is an accomplishment to make it out of the first round so much. It is, but yeah, I'm not feeling that great. However, healthy Kawhi, that means something. If you have a healthy Kawhi, I still stand by my pick, Clippers in 7, but it's gonna be tough, man.
Okay. Tony, has your team underachieved, overachieved, or on par to what you expected for the regular season?
Underachieved by a far margin.
Okay.
And that's, by the way, we're better than last season, but to a certain point, like if the expectation was a championship, that's something that they grossly underachieved. Like in my opinion, they're gonna make noise. Like when you have LeBron and AD, they're gonna make noise. They're gonna do their best to make a run, but between Darvin Ham and the supporting cast, it's been not what I expected. It's been a very different team from what I thought, and it's just been very unfortunate.
Okay. All right. Bruce, let me ask you, and I'll ask. Go around the table. Take a look at the rest of the Western Conference outside of the California teams. What surprised you, and who do you feel is the favorite to come out of the West?
What surprised me? I would probably say I probably would say SGA kind of leading the way. Reason why I say that is because they're a young team, and I think personally, I don't think he's getting the credit he probably deserved. But to me, he's like a rising star. Clippers whiffed on that, by the way. Down. I wish I had SGA right now. Yeah, like Ant-Man, I knew he was going to, be who he is, even though I still feel like he got some more notches to reach. And to come out the West, personally, it's hit or miss, man, because I think Denver's still great, but I think they're overhyped, me personally. And the bench is not as good as it was last year. Anything can happen, man. Lakers can make a run. The Clippers are riddled. Kyrie and Luka are great, but I feel like it stops there. Like in a 7-game series, I'm not a believer in like the others yet. So anything could happen. If the Warriors make the playoffs, I'm taking the Warriors. If the Warriors don't make the playoffs, the Lakers make it. And the Lakers make it to the Western Conference Finals. You never know, but if the Timberwolves defense hold up, if Karl-Anthony Towns comes back, then the numbers say that team should at least probably make it out West. I would say Timberwolves or any of the other, you said no California teams, but I don't really believe in the other teams like that, to be honest. So we'll see.
I'm with it. Dime, same question for you. Outside of, taking a look at the Western Conference on a whole, what surprised you this season and who do you feel is going to come out the West?
I agree with Bruce in the surprises. OKC and Minnesota. I mean, unbelievable. Like OKC's first seed. Who would have thought that before the season? Is that? Let me ask you guys a question. Is that a more surprising number one seed than the 2015 Hawks?
Yeah,
Reggie
by
Miller
far.
called it.
Good
He
question.
said that they were going to be a tier 1 team. People dismissed the fuck out of them.
Tier 1 is different than number one seed. Number one seed.
Very true.
I will say this though. I think more people had the Thunder taking a leap this season than people had Atlanta. Nobody was talking about Atlanta being a number one seed when they had Paul Millsap, Al Horford, Jeff Teague. That was nuts. You know who was also an underrated jump to a 1 seed team was the 2015 Warriors. No one thought they would be a number 1 seed. And then also the Bucks 2019. But yeah, OKC, Minnesota, and then what was the other question? Who's coming out the West?
Yeah.
Oh, of course, I'm always going with the Nuggets, man. I don't think anybody plays nearly as good as basketball as them in the NBA these days. I know it's really blunt. I do agree with what Bruce said about the lack of bench, but rotation shrink in the playoffs. They have those 5 guys. Here's the issue with Denver, though. If any of those 5 guys don't play, such a big drop off. It's so massive. But when they have those 5, just so good. They're the best player in the world with a great supporting cast, an awesome number 2, great point of attack, number 1 defender, and then they have 2 excellent with Aaron Gordon and KCP that can guard your best players. So just a very good team.
Tony, same question for you, man. Biggest surprise and who do you feel coming out of the West?
Biggest surprise is definitely OKC. If I'm being honest, like they are, like and I'm gonna put 2 teams out there, like one being OKC and the other one, like props to you, like the Warriors. Like I'm just gonna say, like I did not expect them to think about there was headlines during the season that I didn't expect the bench to be I didn't think CP3 was gonna work. I didn't think that the whole nucleus of young, just rookies was gonna work. And props to Kerr and props to the Warriors. They made it work. Their system. They were at one point. I think they were a plus when Curry went to the bench, and they were a negative when Curry was out on the court, which is kind of crazy. I think at one point in the season. But going back to OKC, I think it's scary because they're the number 1 seed, and just to guess, right now they're top 5 in terms of the NBA on just average age. They're 25. That's their average age, and by the way, the teams that are in that list of top 5, they're nowhere near what OKC is. So saying that from what they were last season to now, it's amazing. So yeah, and getting out of the West, do you really want this answer?
I asked it, fucker.
Oh fuck, man! But do you want the real answer? Do you want my personal question?
God damn, man! Just answer the fucking question.
But do you really want it?
Yes.
The Lakers, man. There you go.
I like the confidence. That's not like you to have that much confidence in the 9th and 8th seed Lakers.
I don't have the Okay, I don't have the confidence. It's just the more I look at LeBron, the more I look at AD, and even though this season has been just such a bro, I don't know if you guys see Rick and Morty, but that episode that they're all crying and they're all what the hell just happened, and they're mortified. That's what I feel this season was, because it's just a hell of a roller coaster. It was a goddamn marathon. I just feel like this is their moment. This is this right now. If they don't do something, they don't win a championship. In my opinion, it's over. That's it. So, I don't think they're just gonna let it all. They're probably gonna do their best. They may fall short, but I have a feeling, hey, they may do something spectacular. They may surprise everybody and again, everybody counts them out, and they'll surprise the fuck out of you. I think that's been the Lakers' MO for the past. That was the 2020 model. That was last year's thing. It's Lakers, we weren't the favorites for the Memphis series. We weren't the favorites for the Warriors series. Like, again, just saying, like,
2020, you're number one seed though.
say what?
You're the number one seed in 2020.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying the media perspective. They were all against it. Like, even though we were the number one seed, they were saying they won't make it. Blah 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 blah. Our offense that year wasn't great. Our shooting was horrendous. Just saying that there was a lot of things going against us supposedly. This season, it's the same, kind of like the same narrative, though we're nowhere near the number one. But I'm just saying, I'm I'm confident. You know, if we're in it, I think we'll win it. So there you go.
Okay. All right. I believe the confidence. I respect it. I respect it. Okay, a couple more questions as we wrap this up. Okay. Each team has dealt with a lot of shit. Each of our teams have dealt with a lot of shit. The California teams. Which one? Because I had to rephrase this question when I was writing it down in my notes, because obviously the Draymond situation, it wasn't really injury, even though he did miss the start of the season because of back issue. Which team has been the most devastated out of the California teams? Which team has been the most devastated by not having a full roster this season?
Oh, does that count Draymond Green suspension?
Yeah. We're including Draymond suspension as well.
Probably the Warriors. But if it's coming down to injury, I would say maybe the Kings because of Herter and Monk right now. Chris Paul missed some time, but I don't know if that was the worst thing in the world.
I think Minnesota.
No, we're talking about the California teams.
Yeah.
Hey, fuckers,
yeah.
the California roundtable.
Man. Hey,
California.
I also wanted to add it. They're but the Kings, yeah, the Kings. So fuck it.
All right, we say Kings. Okay,
Yeah.
I got two more questions. Bruce, what's your answer for this?
Nah, I agree, man. The Dubs for sure, but Sacramento, you can see Malik Monk is a dude, man, and you can see the impact. The Kevin Herter, no Kevin Herter, Malik Monk. The injuries just completely throw that team off, so they continue to regress.
So you definitely get it. So tomorrow's the last game for the Kings.
I think so, brother. I won't even lie to you. I think so.
I think as well. It's just the only reason why I give them a chance is because they're at home. And you never know how fast bonus playing one game and Keegan Murray could get hot. But
the Warriors are actually really good at away. So then there's that.
The opposite of last year. Yeah, opposite of last year. If we're talking about the whole West, though, Zen, it's definitely the Memphis Grizzlies. The whole league, to be honest. Their whole season got radically serious.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I respect that. Okay, last question. I'll go one by one. Fill in the blank. This season will be a failure if. Start with Dime Dropper.
This season will be a failure if the Clippers don't win the championship. Serious.
Okay. All right.
Because you're never getting younger. That's the main thing.
Okay. I respect that. Bruce, this season will be a failure if
they don't make it out of the play-in and do some damage in the playoffs. At least Western Conference Finals better than last year, right?
Okay. Ojito, this season will be a failure if
we're not in the finals.
Okay. All right. I respect it. Hey, Clippers, they're chilling until this weekend. Before they meet Luka and Kyrie. Warriors got the Kings tomorrow. And before that, Lakers got the Pelicans in the play-ins game. It's gonna be interesting. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for making the schedules lined up. Definitely wish we had Chewy from Top Shot to represent the Kings, but hey, daddy duties. That's what happened. So hope his son is good. But guys, shit, let's link up in the summer. Let's link up in the off season. Appreciate you guys a whole lot. Shout out to everyone that rolled with us. If you missed any part of this, we're gonna put it up on the streaming services. It'll be up there like probably in the morning. And appreciate you guys, really do.
Thank you.
Salute, salute, salute.
Players.
All right, everyone. Big up.